In this video, we are going to talk about how you can build a house with just 2,000 Ghana cedis every month coming up next. Hi guys, so I've been getting a lot of requests on TikTok, Instagram and YouTube about how people who don't earn a lot of money, especially within the 2,000 to 5,000 Ghana cedis bracket, can still practically build a house. And in this video, we are going to look at about 8 points to address anybody who finds himself in that situation. And so if you find this video helpful, kindly share with somebody else who might need to watch this video. And with that said, let's get straight into the first point. The first point is to get affordable land, because if you're a bit on a budget, obviously you can't afford lands at East Legon or cantonments, etc. Those places, land can go as high as $1 million and more. So ideally, for somebody who is on a low budget, I would advise that you get land which is a bit outside of the main capital of Accra, Ghana. And regardless of the region or country you are watching in, usually if you want to buy lands at the outskirts of town in whichever country, whether Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, etc., at the outskirts is cheaper than at the center or the heart of the capital. And so, for example, in Accra, if you move like 16 to 20 kilometers away, the price of land moves from as high as the $1 million I spoke about to as low as even $1,000, right? So for example, if you purchase land after Amasama, in Sawam, Ashalaja and things like that, there's land selling between 15,000 cedis to 30,000 cedis. 15,000 cedis today is just barely over $1,000 and 30,000 is about $2,500 plus dollars. And so the further you move, the better. Now you may be considering, what if where I work is pretty far from where I'm going to purchase the land? Anytime you are purchasing land, you need to consider certain factors. One, the future of the area. Is there going to be like a university, whatever, etc. in that area? Is there going to be an airport? Because it's going to cause the value of the land to appreciate. And two, if you even want to build and it's far from where you live, you can consider converting it to an Airbnb or a rental apartment and still continue to make money out of it. And three, you can always use it as your retirement house. I hope that makes sense. So one, the first point is consider land which is pretty far away from the center of the capital, and sometimes you can even get land as low as 5,000 Ghana cedis, and that is within your budget. Next, if you are not able to get land like 5,000, 30, and even if it's like 50,000, then you may need to save up for a couple of months before you'll be able to afford that. And for somebody who is earning 2,000 to 5,000, I expect that you can do so. Now let me just say, 2,000 to 5,000 may be a bit small for you to build everything in 1 year or 2 years. Now, the more money you are able to add to it, the faster you can continue to build, right? And so I would advise that the second point is try and get an additional source of income. Let me give you an example. We were recently contacted by somebody who is a teacher, and he says he has a budget of about 100,000 Ghana cedis to build on a half plot of land at OEB in Accra. 100,000 Ghana cedis today cannot build you a 1-bedroom house with a toilet, bathroom, hall and kitchen facility. A year ago it could. In Ghana today, you need to triple that amount because the prices of the building materials have almost all doubled or tripled, right? So if you're a teacher and you're earning 2,000 to 5,000 Ghana cedis a month, then you need to take the added step of trying to find additional sources of income. So you can be teaching online, like you can be doing online courses, or you can be doing extra classes for your students. Or if you close early and you have a car, you can consider doing like, some of these Uber, Yango, Bolt, etc. after work. So there are many other things you can do. You can do farming on a part-time basis, or you can even do content creation like I'm doing, which is going to bring you some passive income every month. One stream of income may not be enough to get your dream house. And with that said, let's move to the third point. Once you have decided where you want to buy the land, which is going to be cheaper, ideally I would advise that you buy like a half plot of land, because you don't necessarily need a full plot of land. Yes, you can buy the full plot if you can afford, but if you're on a budget, then I would advise get a half plot of land, or come together with another colleague or friend that you trust, or even a family member who could be your brother or sister, and then split the cost of a full plot into two so that you each have half plot. The benefit of that is once the two of you are building together, it continues to motivate you. When your friend does something, you're also motivated to do something, and you can share some of the resources or materials. For example, if your friend uses the wood for the pillars, after the wood for the pillars are removed, you can use yours for the same pillars, and so you are sharing on some of the resources. Again, if you are transporting materials, cement, etc., you can transport import them in bulk, have a common storage shed on your plot of land, and then you are going to be using and distributing your materials that way, and it makes a lot of sense when you're on a low budget. It even scales up if you have like a group, like an association of teachers. About 5 or 10 of you buy some plots of land within the same area. It allows you to use economics of scale, where instead of, for example, negotiating for 100 bags of cement, now you're negotiating for about 500 bags of cement because there are 5 of you, and so it cuts down everything. You're going to get more discounts and then split the savings amongst the 5 of you. I hope that makes sense. Now, with that said, you need to have a design for your building project. And at this point, I'm going to advise that you get a design that is minimalist enough that will work with your budget. So speaking about the design of the house, you can do like studio type apartments, which are easier to build. Let me explain. Most people have like separate halls from their separate kitchen, from a separate dining hall, and then the rooms and the toilets and bathrooms are all separated by walls. And the more walls you have, the more blocks you purchase, the more cement, the more iron rods, the more labor you pay for plastering, block laying, water. Like, the list is endless, you understand? But if you have like an open styled concept where the hall and the kitchen are together, the dining hall is together, and then the toilet and bath is like somewhere from the hall, it's easier. You can even have like the bedroom and everything, because you are building like a 1-bedroom house that you probably have gone to rent, like a chamber and hall self-contained. It's a similar style you are building, just that everything is within the same space, and it saves you a lot of money. Somebody who is having separate hall, separate kitchen, everything may pay, let's see, 180,000 for something like that. I'm not talking about the price of the land. I'm not talking of the cost of foundation. After you've done the foundation and everything, including the finishing, the doors, the windows, the roofing and all that, somebody will pay like 180,000. But you who would do an open space concept can do that for maybe 120,000 to 140,000. And so if you are saving, let's say, even 2,000 cedis every month from your 5,000 cedis salary, then it means that you are going to need about 70 months to be able to afford that 140,000, and 70 months literally translates to about 6 years. And that brings me to the next point. If you are low on budget, don't envision that you are going to complete your building project in a year or 2. Unless by some great miracle, but most people are going to finish like in 5 years to 10 years, realistically, if your budget is 2,000 to 5,000 Ghana cedis. And like I said, because of the way our inflation rates in Ghana are always moving up, it's going to be ideal for you to get another source of income. So just bear in mind that this is a long-term project that you are going to do. There may be times you run out of funds, etc. But don't give up, don't be discouraged. Just keep pushing and pushing and pushing on. And with that said, let's move to the next point, where we are going to talk about the type of materials that you are going to use for your building project. Now let me explain. Most people, when they are building, use like sand, cement, stones and all that, but there are alternative building materials that save up on a lot of cost. For example, you could decide to use interlocking blocks or bent bricks, or you could do like a madhouse style building, or you could do prefab concrete, or you could actually do shipping container homes. So there are lots of options, right? You don't always need to do the same cement, sand things that everybody is doing. Those things are very expensive, and cement houses are subject to inflation and price adjustments, which in Ghana are not necessarily controlled by any governing body. I hope that makes sense. So you can look into shipping containers. We've done a video on shipping containers. I'm going to leave a link in the description below for you to watch and make an informed decision. We've also done interviews on interlocking bricks. I'm also going to leave a link below for you to check out and to help you make an informed decision. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and click on this link to check our interview with our good friend Ishmael Lamte, who a year ago used barely 90,000 Ghana cedis to complete his 1-bedroom house, including solar. And leave your comments below. Thanks, Bebre.